The moment we've all been waiting for has happened. The finals has just launched at the Game Awards. That's right, Embark Studios has just announced at the Game Awards that Season 1 of the finals starts today, and the free-to-play game is now available to download on PC via Steam, Xbox X and S, and PlayStation 5. G'day, Rockhound here! A week ago, I was lucky enough to be invited along with a group of members of the press, content creators and streamers to a behind-the-scenes preview event for the finals launch held by Embark Studios. From that event, I'm about to give you all the details you need to know before you dive into the game, including Season 1 details, new in-game events like an alien invasion, Battle Pass items, new global server locations, and loads of other new features, and of course, the new map, which is Las Vegas, which I can tell you right now is amazing. There are loads of important details in this video, so I'd suggest you watch it all the way through, and at the end of the video I have a few surprises that I discovered about the game from the event, including one that I was personally completely blown away by, so make sure you watch the entire video to catch all of those. At the pre-launch event we learned a load of new details, including the developers' view of what they want the finals to be, and we had the opportunity to play the game, including the new Las Vegas map, for almost 3 hours. We had a blast, and I'd like to thank not only Embark for inviting me to the event, but also Embark effects artist Particle, who played alongside me, and one of my usual teammates, Serpinger. Particle gave us a few tips about the new Las Vegas map as we tried to find our way around it, even if he did prevent me from winning my life's fortune in Vegas.
It's not the time for gambling, Rockhound.
If this is your first time looking at the finals, here's a 30-second explanation of what the game is. It is a free-to-play, arena-based, first-person PvP shooter with a game show theme where you compete in teams of 3 and where in-game destruction and gadgets play as important a role as gunplay does. You have 3 character builds to choose from, light, medium, and heavy, and each build has its own movement speed and health, and a wide variety of build-specific weapons and gadgets to choose from, so you can build your own hero and style them the way that you want, rather than the game being filled with any pre-designed characters. Right, let's take a look at everything I learned at the pre-launch event. Rob Runeson, who is an Embark Studios co-founder as well as being their chief content officer and executive producer for the finals, led most of the presentation, and he introduced the game to those at the event who might not have experienced it previously, and also talked about what we can expect to see from the game at launch, and he also gave us a broad idea of what we can expect from it going into the future. Right away, he made a comment while introducing the game that I think is particularly interesting. And when it comes to ways to play, just like in the open beta, you play in squads of 3, you'll do that for the beginning of the season at least, at the beginning of the game. Later, Rob went on to say that in Season 1, you'll get new ways to play. So it definitely sounds like Embark are looking at options for us to play other modes where we may have more or fewer players on each team. My hunch is that this means modes with larger squads are probably planned. That aside, Season 1 will kick off with the same modes as the open beta. So that's the single round quick cache mode, where the object is to find a vault, open it, then take the cache box that comes out of the vault to a cash out station where you defend it until it's cashed out. You can also potentially steal someone else's cash while it's in the process of being cashed out. There are also 2 tournament versions of this mode, with each having minor variations, and these are unranked and ranked. The other mode is Banquet, where you collect coins either from vaults or players when they're eliminated, and then try to cash those coins out at a cash out station before you get eliminated and someone steals your coins. That mode is much more of a team deathmatch style of play. You'll be familiar with all of these modes if you played the recent open beta for the finals. Let's now talk about Season 1, starting with perhaps the most important part, the new Las Vegas map. Las Vegas takes the total number of maps at launch to 4. We have Monaco, Seoul, Skyway Stadium, and Las Vegas. I was hoping for 5 or more maps at launch, but having played Las Vegas, it's so good that I would now rather we get maps of this quality, even if it's at the expense of the number of maps. The new map is officially called Las Vegas 2032, so we now have some new lore for the game, and interestingly, the Monaco map is now renamed Monaco 2014. So keep in mind that the game is based on a virtual game show, and therefore the map locations can potentially be played in any time frame, we might see upcoming maps based hundreds of years in the past or further into the future. This type of lore for the finals is slowly starting to emerge, although we don't really know any top tier lore yet, like who is actually running the finals game show. Lore aside, the Las Vegas map is set around a group of very large, low to medium rise casinos with a Las Vegas pedestrian strip between them. The tallest casino building is about 5 levels. Each casino has its own art style and is made up of a complex mix of gaming floors packed with slot machines, hotel rooms, service rooms and kitchens, show theaters and stages, elevators and escalators, bars and restaurants, foyers and rooftops. Overall, the map is about the same size as the Monaco map that we've already played, but the Las Vegas map results in much more varied combat because of the complex casino interiors and the varying sizes of the rooms in each building. It is a fantastic map to play and is now my favourite map out of the 4 the game is launching with. Within the casino buildings there is plenty of cover, whether it be a drinks bar, slot machines or a staircase that offers you somewhere to duck behind when you need it. And the varied architecture always seems to offer you an option for an interesting way to approach a vault or cash out. It also makes learning the map more important because sometimes you've got to take a bit of a winding path to get to where you need to go. Having a heavy on your team to make a hole through a wall or floor can definitely be an advantage. The art style is also fantastic, and I love how each of the casinos differ in their fit out. The names of the casinos are Argonne Casino, Zarabi Las Vegas, Casino Eastwood Drive, and the Art Deco Glamora, and we also have the Lapis Grandstand in the street between them. The Argonne Casino even has a miniature version of the Las Vegas Sphere, but stick around until the end of the video for a little Easter egg about that. Needless to say, I can't wait to jump back into the Vegas map today. Okay, let's talk about the map variants and events. Las Vegas comes with a couple of new variants: tripwires and turrets, and sandstorm. With tripwires and turrets, the round is set at 1 AM and the casinos are all closed with most of the lights off. In this variant, some of the cash out station locations are almost fully surrounded by laser beam tripwires, which when tripped set off a fixed environmental gun turret that shoots at anyone in the nearby area, clearly as part of the casino security system. So once you have your cash out underway, it's often a good plan to trip the turret so anyone trying to steal from you has to deal with being shot at by the turret as well. But keep in mind, it'll blast you too if you need to steal your cash out back. So tripwires and turrets is focused on very specific parts of the map, and at the other end of the scale we have the sandstorm variant. Sandstorm is a completely insane map variant. The entire Las Vegas map is in the middle of a massive sandstorm that has piled up huge dunes in the streets and on top of the casinos, with sand and dust and a reddish haze inside the buildings as well. All of the jump pads are also knocked out with this variant. Now, I didn't get a chance to play this variant myself, so the gameplay here has kindly been provided to me by content creator Spear, so thanks to him for capturing this and providing it to me to use. Spear goes super in depth with the finals in-game lore and the maps on his channel, and I've linked his channel below, so please go and check it out. Vegas also brings us a new event, which is an alien invasion. When the event occurs, a flying saucer arrives on the scene and hovers over the map, blasting at the ground and beaming up pieces of building. The beam won't lift players up unless you happen to be standing on a piece of building that's being levitated, but apparently you can also use bits of floating building to grapple onto and maybe gain a height advantage over your opponents. There's also a bunch of new alien and flying saucer related cosmetics as well, which segues us nicely into looking at the battle pass and store items. Season 1 comes with a 12 level battle pass, with each level having 8 sub-levels, giving us 96 rewards, which I'm flicking through here. The battle pass includes full character outfits like this new Elvis lookalike, individual clothing pieces, individual character cosmetics like hairstyles or body paint, weapon reload animations like this AK-1 called Jackpot Juggle, weapon skins. There are so many weapon skins. A couple of my favorites are this roulette wheel one for the Heavy's Lewis gun, this one called High Noon for the 357 Magnum, and this Art Deco one called Decoded Spirit, which is available for several weapons. There are also stickers and charms that you can add to any of your weapons and gadgets, and even pets to ride along on your shoulder like Cash Crow here. And there's a whole subcategory called Expressions. Expressions are the collective name for character emotes, sprays, emoticons, stickers, sounds, and gestures. Let's take a quick look at each of those. You can equip emotes to introduce your character and also set them to your communication wheel for a mid-game display. I think my favorite so far is the smashing guitar one, which Particle, Serpinger and I took on board as our team's signature move, and here's Embark developer Mart ably demonstrating the beam bye-bye emote after slaying me with their sledgy during a round of Banquet. Sprays allow you to leave your calling card around the map for passers-by to see as they try and chase you down, and like emotes, you can allocate more than one of these to your communication wheel, giving you plenty of options for expressing yourself well in game. Emoticons are where your character can conjure up little images on the spot with a subtle hand movement. The very first sub-level of level 1 for season 1 is an emoticon called Flowery Speech, so that'll be what you unlock first. Sounds are brand new and allow your character to emit crazy audio, and they give a little hand movement and a sound equalizer symbol appears at the same time. When Particle used this cat sound for the first time during play, I actually started looking around the room for our cat. It's hilarious. Gestures are pretty basic at the moment, and currently there's only 3 of them, or at least there was in the build that we played. With love, which is this little odd hand shape, and it says for contestants who embarked on our journey from the beginning. Perhaps there's a hidden meaning to that one. Cosmic Blessing is a nod to Mr. Spock from Star Trek, and Rock On goes well with the smashing guitar emote. You'll also be awarded the in-game currency MultiBucks as you progress through the battle pass. There are usually 2 or sometimes 1 lot of 75 MultiBucks awarded per full level of the Battle Pass. During the pre-launch event, we didn't get to see any real-world pricing on cosmetics, which will be the microtransactions that the game will have, but I'm expecting that you'll be able to buy MultiBucks directly so you can purchase the Battle Pass and other individual items. You can see your MultiBucks balance here, and on the left here is the VR's balance. You only earn VRs by playing, and these allow you to unlock equipment like weapons, gadgets, and specializations as you progress. They have a maximum balance of 3,000, so it's a good idea to keep upgrading your kit as you go. There will of course also be loads of items that aren't part of the Battle Pass that you can purchase separately as well, like Conspira Kitten here, who I adopted through most of my gameplay for the pre-launch event. There was also a tab for watches, but there weren't any in there, so maybe these will be added today. Rob Runison also told us that we will also host new events throughout Season 1. You will get new ways to play, and of course there will be a lot of additional content added outside of the Battle Pass as well, like skins, new outfits, new characters, different modes, weapons, and more. So I guess we can expect things to expand pretty quickly throughout the season. Now let's look at new weapons and gadgets, and it's the light build that gets the new gear here. Firstly, with a pair of throwing knives as a weapon option, and they actually come as playing cards following the Vegas theme as the standard issue. These things look awesome. There are also actual throwing knives as an option with a variety of skins available for them. The light build also gains a vanishing bomb which can be thrown at your teammates to cloak them for a short period of time. It's great doing this the moment before you all jump down into a cash out station area. Let's briefly talk about in-game sponsors. During the closed alpha and beta, Ospoos and Isolt were the 2 Season 0 sponsors, but now for Season 1 we have Holto, which is an insurance company, presumably with deep pockets given the amount of destruction in the game, and Volpe is the other Season 1 sponsor, and from the open beta they seem to be tied into the jump pads on Skyway Stadium and maybe the VR gear that's used for the game show. That covers most of what we know about Season 1. Rob Runison also mentioned to me directly during the event that he expects the seasons to each last about 12 to 15 weeks, but they're still figuring out the specifics for that, so don't take that as gospel just yet. At the end of the event, Rob Runison took the time to make a few important points about their overall philosophy on the finals. I want to share those with you. He said, "First of all, our biggest priority, we'll always make sure that the game is running smoothly. We want to have as few bugs as possible. We want it to be well balanced and also a safe and fair space for players. A place that you can call the new game, the new home. And we know that we would rather focus on making the core game better. We listen to our players' feedback. We want to fix issues rather than actually just queuing in more content into the mix. So that's very important. Secondly, we want to make promises that we can keep. We would love to give you a detailed roadmap for a year ahead, but we don't know where a live service game will take us. Plans are going to change. We'll get so much feedback from you players, and we want to address this. We want to really, and I can't stress this enough, build a game that we want to play and that you guys love to play. Finally, we know how hard it is to get a live service right. We are extremely humbled about this challenge. Live games are meant to evolve. They're meant to grow and change, and we will always, like I said, pay a lot of attention to player feedback. When we started making this game 4 years ago, we said we want to create a universe that allows us to say yes more often than it forces us to say no. The reason for this is that we wanted to be able to build a game that we love to play and that our gamers will love to play as well. So that's why the finals is the way it is. And we know it's hard, but we will do everything we can to make this game great. All of that is such great stuff to hear from Rob and the Embark Studios team in general. They really seem to be keen to focus on the things that are most important to the players. Okay, a few important things to wrap up. Those of you in parts of the world that have been waiting for local servers are going to be very happy. At launch there will be North American, European, Asian, Oceania and South American servers. The South American one will initially be called Brazil, but the devs tell me that this will change to South America soon after launch. I for one cannot wait to play this game without having to deal with a ping of around 200 milliseconds because I was playing on a North American server for the pre-launch event. And this is one thing worth mentioning. Because movement and destruction are server-side for the finals, if you do choose to play on a server that's far away from you, maybe because you're playing with overseas friends, you will notice issues with things like hit reg. And as you can see in this example where I was playing on the North American server during the event and shooting at Aculite, and some shots simply aren't registering. So stay on a local server unless you have no choice. Now let me leave you with a few Easter eggs that I discovered are in the game, so a little spoiler warning here. If you're on the Las Vegas map and get up high enough, or you can do it with the free cam if you get team wiped, you can look out across the city and see the Vegas sphere in the distance with the finals logo on it. If you smash or shoot these banned road cases, there are electric guitars hidden inside, which is reminiscent of the teddy bears and boxes Easter egg from Battlefield 1. At some point when you're in game, I urge you to take the time to jump in the settings menu and watch the game's credits. Now I won't spoil that moment for you, but I will tell you that the music for them was created on a Commodore Amiga computer, which was around in the mid-1980s. And you need to watch the credits all the way through because they are awesome. Lastly, I learned something during the event that personally caught me completely by surprise and is incredibly humbling. Rob Brunison told me that they've hidden my initials saying RHB was here underneath a certain type of object on the Las Vegas map. I'll let you discover where they are for yourself if you're keen enough to look, but there's a blatant clue in this image of Rob. And to be fair, I didn't even know about this until I finished playing during the pre-launch event, so I haven't even had a chance to go and find them myself yet. But it feels pretty surreal to receive an acknowledgement like this from this amazing group of developers. I've made videos about Embark Studios' work since 2019, and I think it says a lot about who they are for a studio stacked with industry veterans and amazing developers to acknowledge a little content creator from New Zealand who currently has around 4,000 subs and who just loves making movies about the games they make. It means more than I can put into words. Thank you, Embark. Thanks for watching this video to the end. Do the usual YouTube business if you want to see more videos from me from now on. Give a like or comment as you see fit and enjoy jumping into the finals. Kia kaha, stay strong.
Everybody knows the world ain't right. Down on your knees, get up and fight.
Rockhound just goes for one last battle with level cap.
Yeah, I got him too.
Nice.